Now we say a warm welcome. They take on the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts opening day for the T-Bolts here at home. Alongside Adam Glover, I'm Eli Kleinman on Big Train Baseball Network. We're watching the slider skip in to Ridner behind the plate. It's a ball and no strikes. Bethesda for the first time this season, black uniforms, the black hats, gray pants. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses by a couple inches off the outside. It's a ball and a strike to the right-handed hitting second baseman. Mention the familiarity of the lineup, Adam. Same 9 in the lineup, slightly different order at the bottom from last night. 1-1. Below the knees with a fastball, but Copian with a good take. 2 balls and a strike. Just going. Jump stares in for the sign. Shakes off Ridner a couple times. Now he's set at the belt. Stares down. Here comes the 2-1 and tries to locate a fastball at the bottom of the zone, but again, dips below it. Hits 3 balls and a strike. He's at second and first with 1 away. Here's the 3-1. Up and away with a fastball, ball 4, and the bases are loaded here in the top half of the first. Only 1 down. Big Train looking to strike first. Teddy Ruffner stands in with a golden opportunity for Bethesda. Catcher today, being the designated hitter yesterday. First pitch home. It skips in the dirt. It's to the backstop. Here comes Long. He scores on his feet, and Bethesda takes the early lead. 1-0. Big Train as the runners move over to second and third. It's a ball and no strikes to Ruffner. Still 2 in scoring position.
Sargent did struggle with some command in college. 29 walks and 46 and 2/3 innings worked, and also had 6 hit by pitches as well. He can be a little bit wild, but he does have some good put away stuff.
A little fastball up and away. Take by Ruffner. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 32 walks in the inning and a wild pitch that brought home a run. Ready on the mound. Ruffner ready at the plate. 2-0. Slider inside. Throw the strike on the inner half. 2-1 the count with 1 away. Getting 3 at bats, but a pair of walks and a pair of runs scored.
Up and in. Didn't get the break that he wanted on it.
Bases still loaded. 2-0 Big Train. They've scored now 8 runs in the first inning over the first 2 games in the season. Still looking for more with only 1 away. Over the plate. Lefty stands in. Takes a first pitch fastball in for a strike.
This is our featured player as a bat.
3 lefties in the exhibition 2 nights ago. Move over to second, and the runners at second and third with 1 away. Count runs full to Schiavone in the double play. Opportunity erased to reach base since the flyout. Casey Bishop. Here's the 2-0. Phelps takes a fastball just above the letters. Bethesda in white across the black uniform. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put Lucas Phelps. Here's the 3-0. Fastball. Hits that outside corner. It's 3 balls and a strike. Still work to do for Eddie Sargent. Bases loaded, 1 away. Already 4-0 Bethesda. 3-1 home. And it just hits the top of the strike zone. Phelps flips the bat. Now he has to go and retrieve it. Thought it was ball 4. Instead, the count 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a borderline call. I think it was over the plate, but it was a little bit high. That was the question. I think that's why he tossed the bat. He thought it was too high in the zone.
So 3-2 to Phelps. The slider outside, ball 4. Another run comes home for Bethesda. Make it 5-0 in the top of the first.
And to locate a similar part of the zone, but down, but stayed on the outside corner. Went to a breaking ball, just couldn't locate it. And now you've officially hit through your lineup, going back to the top of the order.
Second straight night, they go all the way through the lineup. Back to the plate comes Long, and he takes a first pitch fastball. Low and inside, called the strike, right on the blunt. And won the count. Walked to begin the first. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider in the dirt. Nice job by Ridner to keep it in front. Quickly, Sargent ahead, 0-2. On the mound. On the way to the tank short. Here is the batter. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Easy take from Long into ball 2 strikes.
He really liked that pitch. That's what he got him to swing. On the previous pitch on him, you saw he shook off a couple of signs. Sargent was really confident in that breaking ball back in the dirt.
There's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout. Out number 2. Sargent finally went out of the way. Getting out of the top of the first.
Still no easy task. Casey Bishop up. Another on-base machine for the Big Train. This is just a really talented lineup, top to bottom. No real breaks.
Right-hander stands up. Takes the first pitch fastball. Called the strike on the outer black. 0-1. Nothing Bethesda, top of the first with 2 away. Bases still loaded. At third is Ruddle. At second is Schiavone. At first is Phelps. 0-1. Slider. So right on the outside corner, called the strike. 0-2 the count to Casey Bishop. Oh, 2 pitch on. The slider skips in the dirt. Ridner to get down and block it. To keep it in front. A ball and 2 strikes.
The good thing is that slider that he keeps missing. He's missing low in the dirt. You don't want to miss up because then it hangs in the zone.
1-2. Fastball upstairs. Bishop able to hold up just in time. Take makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Set at the bell. Here comes the 2-2. Bishop lines it into center field. A base hit. Into score Ruddle. Right behind him, Schiavone. The throw cut off by the first baseman Costanzo. And Casey Bishop comes through with 2 away. Make it 7-0 Big Train in the top of the first. Over to third goes Phelps. And Casey Bishop with his first 2 RBIs of the season.
Real good at bat. Waited for that pitch again. He had it previously, but it missed just a little bit. He was sitting on the fastball, didn't want the breaking ball, and drove it right up the middle. And now for the second consecutive game, a starter does not make it through the first inning against the Big Train.
That is the end of the day for Eddie Sargent. 7 runs on the board. Big Train still a chance to add on. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Big Train Radio Network. Is everything all right?
Getting some weird static.
Okay.
I'm not sure where it's coming from. All right.
Is it something to do with the audio? Like, because when we originally went live.
Mm-hmm.
That, no, it's okay.
Okay,
I've
yeah.
already been.
All right. When we originally went live,
We're not muted.
We are.
Yeah, but
Master.
Use the master tree.
Okay, just for all of us?
Yeah.
Did this still do the same thing, though?
It does the same thing, but that's one button. That's
So where's that audio listen to?
That's just, it's still going to come over.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right. When we clicked audio, we just picked microphone array or something like that. So I didn't know if maybe there needed to be another source or something else in there.
No, this should be on there. I think, frankly, there's the driver. There's a driver that I need here, and
Yeah.
that's what's causing this problem. But I just have to deal with it.
Right.
And I may be there tomorrow after all, because I may have to take the computer and go to Sullivan's.
So this is
Shit.
what? Oh, we got to work tomorrow. Well, this is taking its time.
It did last time.
Put the universal mute on.
And we welcome you back. Live from Silver Springs, Maryland. Apologies for our audio and technical difficulties, but we should be back on the air the rest of the way. As Zeb Ruddle takes ball 4. Have a lot to catch you up on. The Big Train scored 10 runs in the top of the first. The loudest hit of them all was a 3-run blast from Jeffrey Hurd. In his second at-bat, he had 2 hits in the top of the first. And then in the bottom of the first, Brandon Cassidy set down the Thunderbolts in order 1, 2, 3. So that's where we stand now. Nobody out, a runner at first in the top of the second. Jason Schiavone up at the plate. Right-hander waits and takes a fastball off the inside, a ball and no strikes. Eddie Sargent got the start for the Thunderbolts. Ryan Mariani has since replaced him. Mariani set, about shoulder high. And the 1-0, Schiavone lifts it in the air to center. Cam Jones Jr. drifts in, and he reaches up to make the catch for out number 1.
And Mariani, 25 2/3 innings of work at college this year. Does some really good things well. 26 strikeouts in that time. So nearly 26 strikeouts in an inning, but did give up 29 hits. So if he could just drop the hits, he's golden because the walks are low as well.
From just down the road in Rockville, Maryland, Lucas Phelps to the plate, walked and scored in the first. Back up for the second time in the second. Ruddle on the move. Pitches inside. Throw down to second. Skips in a little late, and Ruddle slides in feet first to swipe the bag. A stolen base, and he's in scoring position. It's the count, no balls and a strike to Lucas Phelps. Still searching for his first hit of 2023 in just game 2. 0-1. And a fastball called a strike at the knees, and the count runs no balls and 2 strikes. The FAU product at the plate. Hitting the 9-hole last night as well. Here's the 0-2. Curveball, and Phelps fouls it away down the right field line and out of play, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Got him a little off balance, but in an 0-2 count, got to stay alive and swing at anything close. Nice to get a piece of that He gets another opportunity.
Trying to bring home run number 11 for Bethesda in the top of the second. With Ruddle at second base. Here's the 0-2. Curveball, and Phelps pops it back and out of play. Stays alive once again. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Big Train have won 7 in a row against the Thunderbolts. Dates back to 2021. Their last loss came July 12th. In a season that would end in a title for Bethesda. 0-2. Phelps lines it up the middle, past the second baseman Heckman, and into center field. Jones, the center fielder, bobbles it, which allows Ruddle to round third and score with ease. Bethesda makes it 11-0 in the top of the second, thanks to the RBI single from Lucas Phelps.
Ruddle was booking it home, so even if the bobble didn't happen, would have easily came in. How about that? 0-2 count, foul off a couple of pitches, and then drive the pitch you like right back up the middle. That's a heck of an at-bat by Phelps.
Really nice piece of hitting for his first hit of 2023. As Mariani throws over, and Phelps has to dive back in safely. John Long to the plate, the leadoff man. His third plate appearance of the day. A walk and a strikeout in the first. Holds the bat over his left shoulder. First pitch home, in the dirt, scoots away from the catcher Ridner, but back to the bag goes Phelps. Did not get a good enough jump and decides to stay where he is.
Looked like Ridner had a glove on that one. I think it just kicked off the end of his glove, but he's lucky that Phelps didn't advance on that one. That would have been a pass ball rather than a wild pitch.
Phelps at first with one away and another throw over, and he dives back, extends that right hand to the base safely. Costanzo, the first baseman, holds him on. Infield and outfield straight away for the leadoff man. Here's the 1-0 to Long, and he takes a fastball up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Third time around the order for the Big Train in the top of the second, after they put up a 10 spot in the top of the first. 2-0. It's downstairs. Phelps off and running for second. The throw scoots past the shortstop Calabrese. The second baseman Heckman there to back it up, but it's a stolen base for Lucas Phelps. Adam, that throw looked to be in time, but just not a clean transfer from Calabrese, the shortstop.
Ridner with a heck of an arm behind home plate. But the Big Train staying aggressive. We've seen a ton of stolen bases through these first couple of games.
Mariani checks at the runner on second. Here's the 2-1, up and away, outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. Already 1 walk on the day for John Long. Trying to reach base for the second time on the evening. 3-1, the slider stays too far upstairs. It's ball 4. And there's runners at first and second with 1 away for Casey Bishop.
Well, this has been the story so far. Only 6 hits for the Big Train. It's been the walks that they've capitalized on so far in this game. They've been very patient at the plate, getting these extra at-bats.
So Bishop, who has one of those 6 hits, 2 RBI single in the first, awaits this righty-on-righty matchup. In the first pitch, fastball down just above the shoe tops. It's a ball is in, no strike. Most dangerous bat in the lineup, Jeffrey Hurd, stands on deck. At second is Phelps, at first is Long. Couple checks at second. Here's the 1-0. And Bishop rolls one left side. A dive from Calic, the third baseman. It's into left field. Phelps gets the green light. Here he comes to the plate, and he scores on his feet. Ridner, the catcher, receives the throw, but it's not in time. And the Big Train make it 2 in the second. And it's 12-0.
Another hard hit ball into the outfield. Patience at the plate for the big train. Making these pitchers throw a lot of pitches, waiting till they get the pitch they want to hit.
So Jeffrey Hurd stands in with Long at second and Bishop at first, each with an RBI single. Pitch to Hurd and the curveball. Swings towards the outside corner but does not hit it. According to our home plate umpire, it's a ball and no strikes. Hurd with the first home run of the big train season. An inning ago. The 1-0. Fastball paints the inside corner. It's a ball and a strike. Hit 12 home runs this past spring for Sacramento State, including a 2-homer game against UCLA in the Southern California Classic in March. A throwback to second to check on Long, but he gets back on his feet. Hurd waits at the plate. Long hold for Mariani. The 1-0. Make it the 1-1. And the curveball swings its way into the strike zone. A ball and 2 strikes. A beautiful day in Silver Springs. A few clouds litter the outfield. 1-2, curveball in the dirt. Great take by Hurd. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mariani's kind of hung a couple of those curveballs. The first and the second one were really hung in the zone. Thankfully for him, Jeffrey Hurd was not sitting on that pitch. But that one in the dirt is where he wants to locate something like that with 2 strikes. You don't want to hang something up or else he's going to hit it a long way.
Just like he did an inning ago. 2-2, and Hurd pops one up left side, but it scoots out of play over into the softball field behind us where there is action ongoing.
Yeah, it looks like a youth game or something like that going on back there.
Hello.
And there's soccer, I think, going on the football field as well.
Have to stay ready. 2 on and 1 away. Hurd and Mariani in a battle. Here's a 3-2. Hurd pokes one the other way, and it's foul by a matter of feet. So they do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. A defensive swing from Hurd, but almost picked up another base hit.
Hey, he's sitting on the fastball because he's had a few good curveballs in this at-bat. He's just not been ready for. He wants a fastball to hit here.
Sits into the box. Here comes another 3-2 to Hurd, and he swings and taps one back to the screen on a couple hops. So full count offering number 3 coming up next. On deck is Chris Acopi, and he's reached both times today. A walk and a single. Ready again. The 3-2. Hurd pokes one foul back off the screen in a battle that keeps on going. Nice catch by Hakopi and the on-deck hitter.
Right off the net.
On the fly.
Always got to stay ready.
See what he can do with the glove. Stad says he was already an excellent fielder at age 9. See him showing that defensive prowess. 3-2 to Hurd. He pokes one down the right field line, and it hooks foul over towards our lone light pole.
That was a changeup that kept drifting down in the zone, way out in front of it. Again, Still sitting on that fastball. He's fouled a few fastballs off, but you can see the curveball and the changeup. He's way out in front of it, just trying to poke it to stay alive to get that fastball.
Double-digit pitches this at-bat for Hurd. Still looking for something good to hit. Who can win this matchup? Mariani on the mound, Hurd at the plate, and the pitcher steps off to give a look back to John Long. Played just about an hour of baseball.
In the top of the second.
And we are in the top of the second. That's how it goes sometimes, especially when you have 12 runs on the board. 3-2 to Hurd again. Swing and a miss at the slider. And a big out number 2. Mariani wins the battle.
Yeah, not ready for the breaking ball. Went back to it after the changeup. You have to expect that Mariani was not going to throw him a fastball. He knew that he was waiting on that pitch and was off balance every time with the off speed and breaking stuff.
So Hakopian last chance for the big train in the second. And he swings and chops one to the left side. The shortstop Calabrese races in. The throw to first is low. It gets away from Costanzo. Long in to score. Over to third goes Bishop. Costanzo has to chase it down the right field line, and Hakopian stands in at second after the error by the Thunderbolts. Another run scores for the big train. It's 13-0.
Yeah, tried to run with the, kind of charging in, tried to run and then make the throw, and a low one that kicked away and went all the way to the fence. And this is a big foul territory here at this stadium, so it kept rolling. Hakopian easily makes it to second base.
Teddy Ruffner stands in with 2 away, and the first pitch up and away, a ball and no strikes. Mariani electing to work out of the windup with runners at second and third. Here's the 1-0. Fastball well upstairs, about head high to Ruffner. 2 balls and no strikes. Ruffner just 5'10", a catcher for this big train lineup today. 2-0. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 2-1. Big train. One more base runner from hitting around again. As Ruffner sends the 2-1 foul and out of play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away in the top of the second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball well outside. Rindner, the catcher, has to extend his glove as far as it can go across his body to keep it from the backstop. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away, and first base open. Mariani, 3-2 pitch. Ruffner rolls it into left field, a base hit. Into score comes Bishop. Hakopian gets the wave. Here comes the throw from the cutoff man, Kalik, and it is not in time. 2 more runs cross for the big train. It's 15-0 in the top of the second.
Oh, Ruffner worked a full count. And when you get into a full count, Mariani is going to have to limit what he throws. He's got to focus on getting the out. So whatever pitch he thinks is best, which most pitchers rely on the fastball. So Ruffner, sitting on the fastball, hit it easily into left field and drove in a couple of runs.
And it is another tough inning for the big train bat boy. He has to carry a lot of elbow guards, a lot of shin guards that are stationed over with the first base coach.
For the 3rd time through the lineup, and that's a long run.
That is a lot of elbow guards and shin guards as Twigo takes a fastball outside. His arms are full, just piled high from about his waist to his head. 1-0, Twigo rolls one to first. It skips off of Costanzo and rolls away down the right field line. Over to third goes Ruffner. He's held up there. Twigo rounds into second, and the inning continues for the big train. on the error from the first baseman, Costanzo.
Yeah, it's now twice an error in the infield for Silver Spring Tacoma that could have ended the inning. And now we officially have hit around once again. Ruddle, who walked to start this inning off, stole a base and came around to score. We'll get an opportunity with 2 on and 2 outs.
So Ruffner at third, Twygo at second, still 2 away. 15-0 Big Train. Mariani deals the pitch. And Ruddle takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Mariani winds and deals. The fastball stays upstairs. It's a ball and a strike. Big Train offense has roared to life once again for the second straight day. 1-1. And the curveball stings the inside corner for a strike. It's a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. 10 runs last night, already 15 runs through an inning and 2/3. Mariani winds the 1-2, and Ruddle pops it up left side. Calick, the third baseman, drifts towards the fence. He has room, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Big Train score half of what they did in the first, but 5 is plenty. It's 15-0 Bethesda as we head to the bottom of the second on the Big Train Radio Network. We welcome you back to Silver Springs, Maryland on the Big Train Radio Network. Bottom of the second, 15-0 Bethesda with 4, 5, and 6 upcoming in the Thunderbolts lineup. Brandon Cassidy back to the mound for inning number 2. And the first pitch just downstairs with a fastball, a ball and no strikes. Tristan Crawford at the plate. A Lehigh product. As Cassidy winds and deals. Paints a fastball at the knees, evens the count, a ball and a strike.
Crawford went 3 for 15 this past season at Lehigh. It's the right-hander. Waits the 1-1. And a fastball drifts too far inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Blue skies above us. A beautiful day with the wind blowing out to center field. It's the 2-1. And Crawford lifts one down the right field line. Long run for Twygo as he crosses the stripe and makes the catch on the move for out number 1.
Great running play. A long way to go into foul territory. Able to track it down with the glove out in front of him. It was kind of basket in a way. A heck of a play.
Seen Twygo make some really nice plays over the last couple days. Yesterday he was stationed at first base as Coleman Calabrese comes up. Right-hander swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Right side, second baseman Hakopian calls off Twygo, the right fielder, and makes the catch for out number 2. But speaking of Twygo, played first base yesterday. It's back to Schiavone today. The big train without a first baseman at the moment, and it's all hands on deck. Any guy who could potentially play it. Twygo played first base yesterday for the first time in 2 years. Justin Costanzo stands in. And he takes a first pitch fastball on the outside for a strike. 0-1 the count with 2 down.
It's good for these big train players to get experience everywhere else. They can take it back to their colleges come the fall, and it opens up opportunities for them next spring with their team to get some more playing time, knowing that they can play a different position.
The 0-1 fouled back and out of play. 0-2 with 2 down. And Twygo made an excellent play yesterday, ranging back on a pop-up into foul territory. Looked like an outfielder, and that's, of course, because he is an outfielder. 15-0 big train with 2 down, 0-2 count. Cassidy winds and deals. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside corner, and the inning comes to an end. Cassidy sits down the first 6 Thunderbolts he sees, and we head to the third. It's 15-0 Big Train on the Big Train Radio Network. Top of the third on the Big Train Radio Network. 15-0 Bethesda leads, and back to the plate for the third time comes the 8-hole hitter Jason Schiavone. And the first pitch, a fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ryan Mariani back to the mound. Took over in the top of the first and has pitched the second and in here into the third as the curveball winds its way outside. A ball and a strike.
That breaking ball hasn't been bad for him yet. The fastball is what's been hit really hard, but his off speed and his breaking stuff has been able to fool some hitters.
1-1 ground ball past the mound, up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Schiavone aboard with his first hit of the day. And And the Big Train start another inning with a leadoff base runner.
And there was the fastball again. Had confidence in it, though, which is what you want to see from a pitcher. Even if the fastball is getting hit hard, if you can continue to have confidence in that pitch, that'll be great.
So Lucas Phelps stands in, an RBI single back in the second. The first pitch downstairs in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. First road game of the season for Bethesda, and it couldn't get off to a better start, both at the plate and on the mound. Schiavone, three-step lead off of first. There he goes, swing and a miss from Phelps, and Schiavone stops halfway. Now he retreats back to first. The throw from the shortstop, Calabrese, hits Schiavone. It rolls into foul territory, but Costanzo, the first baseman, able to track it down before Schiavone decides to dash for second. So everything remains exactly where it was after a very chaotic stolen base attempt. Although officially doesn't go down as anything.
Yeah, caught a bit of a break there.
Here's the 1-1. A curveball skips in the dirt. Rindner with a good block. 2 balls and a strike. It's about the spirit of the stolen base attempt, even if it doesn't become official.
It's going to be a close play over at first, too, had that ball not hit the runner as well. We've had some base running issues through these first couple of games, including the exhibition one. So hopefully that can tighten up as the season goes on.
2-1 to Phelps. Swings and hits one high in the air to right field. McMath, the right fielder, into the gap, and the lefty makes the catch with 2 hands for out number 1. Back to the top of the order for the 4th time around. It's John Long who stands in.
One of the things I'm also really impressed about is when the Big Train do record outs, they're putting the ball in play. They're really seeing the ball well tonight. They're not standing up there and striking out much. They're working good at bats and getting pitches to, at the very least, put on the ground or put in the air.
Mariani deals the first pitch to Long. A curveball drops into the zone. No balls and a strike. 21 plate appearances so far for the Big Train, only 2 strikeouts. Long does have one of those in the top of the first as Mariani throws back and Schiavone dives in safely. Shadows start to creep towards the field of play, but have yet to cross the foul lines. It's the 0-1 in the dirt with a curveball. It's a ball and a strike to Long. See how that plays a factor as we get later on into this one. Once the hitter is in the shade, but the pitcher remains in the mound, in the sun, excuse me, on the mound. 1-1 home, and the fastball stays well up and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Long waits. Mariani with a long hold. 2-1. And the curveball again. This time stays outside and low. It's 2 balls and 3 balls and a strike. Here comes the 3-1. And Long takes one down the middle for strike 2. The count runs full with 1 away.
See if he goes back with that pitch. The breaking ball has not worked in this at-bat. The command hasn't been there to John Long. So we'll see if he tries to go with the fastball. But he's got to locate it well because the Big Train are seeing fastballs really well today.
3-2. Long swings and pops one up behind home plate. Rindner races back towards the screen to give it a look, but it's out of play. And we do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. John Long with already 2 walks on the day. Don't think he would mind the third. Although, you imagine he would love something to hit.
I think the hitting coach would be pleased even if he did get on base with a walk. Another good at bat, working the pitch count.
3-2. And fouls one just off the mitt of Ridner, the catcher, to stay alive. Barely gets a piece, but does the trick.
It looked like a changeup on the outside corner. With the breaking ball not working, with the big train hitting fastballs, now it's time to go with the off-speed stuff like a changeup. And you can see he was not ready for it, just able to stay alive, get a little piece of it.
So he stands back in. On the move goes Schiavone, 3-2, ground ball right side, off the glove of Costanzo, the first baseman, and by the time he retrieves it, about 45 feet away from first, Long is at first safely, and at second is Schiavone. And that might be the end of the day for Mariani as a mound visit takes place. It is. The right-hander's day is done, and we'll step aside on the Big Train Radio Network. Runners at first and second with one out. It's 15-0. Bethesda leads, top of the third. Top of the third, and the new pitcher for the Thunderbolts is Ethan Grebe.
He's really been snake bitten with a bunch of base hits, 23 and 25 innings, 26 strikeouts though over this past season in college. 3-1 record though, and did record 2 saves, so is good in some of those tough situations, which he's in one here. It is early on, but a simple ground ball turns 2 and gets him out of the inning.
Faces Casey Bishop, who fouls the first pitch back to the screen. At second is Schiavone, at first is Long. And the 0-1 pitch, a fastball outside to even the count at 1-1.
He's got great put-away stuff, averaging 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. And the walks down as well, just 10 in 23 in a third innings of work. It's the base hits that have caused his ERA at college to be over 5.
1-1 to Bishop, a high fastball, and it draws a swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. Schiavone led off the inning with the single. John Long singled as well. Ten runs in the first, 5 in the second for Bethesda. looking for their first runs of the third. A throwback to second, and actually just a pump fake. Schiavone gets back quickly. Good speed on the base paths for the big train. 1-2 pitch. The fastball well outside. Rindner once again has to stretch that glove all the way across his body. Not in a stance to try and block it. And just keeps it in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heckman, the second baseman, holds Schiavone on. 2-2. Ground ball right side. Past the dive of Heckman at second and into right field. Schiavone gets the green light around third. He's in to score on his feet. Around from first to third goes long. It's an RBI single for Casey Bishop, and the big train make it 16-0 in the top of the third.
Grieve is having problems locating that fastball on the corner. The first one was too far outside. This one leaked back a little more over the plate. Still on that outside corner, but able to take it to the opposite field where no one was and drive in a quick, easy run.
So Casey Bishop, after an 0 for 3 day yesterday on opening day, has rebounded fantastically. 3 hits, 4 RBIs through the first 3 innings. Jeffrey Hurd stands in. The runner's at the corner and 1 down. And the first pitch fastball way outside. It's a ball and no strike to the left-handed hitting outfielder from Sacramento State. Hurd with the 3-run blast in the first, and no doubt shot to right. 1-0. Swings and sends one a mile high down the right field line. Into foul territory. The second baseman, Heckman, ranges over to make the catch. Tagging from third is Long. The throw to the plate is not in time. Long slides in safely, and it goes down as a sacrifice fly for Jeffrey Hurd. Make it 17-0 big train in the top of the third.
Not too many times you can say a fly ball caught by an infielder is a sacrifice fly. Big foul territory, having to turn around, make the grab, but good heads-up base running coming in from third.
So 4 RBIs on the day for Hurd and 2 away. Chris Hakopian to the plate. His first chance to face Griebe, and the first pitch slider skips in the dirt. A ball and no strikes. So 2 away, a runner at first. That's Casey Bishop with great speed.
Going back to Hurd's at bat, he's still sitting on a fastball. That's what he hit down that line. So if I'm Silver Spring Tacoma, I would continue to go off speed and breaking pitches because the fastball is what he's sitting on. He did get jammed on it, drove in a run, but that's what he's been sitting on all game long.
It's a 1-1 count to Chris Hakopian. Drove a fastball over the right field fence in the first. Runner on the move, 1-1 outside, throw down to second, and Bishop slides in safely with a stolen base. He's in scoring position.
Griebe never even looked at him, got a heck of a jump and took off easily. Bishop with great speed, there's no doubt about it. The throw was a little bit high, but still paying no attention over to first base.
Second stolen base of the day for Bishop. 2-1 to Hakopian, bounces one foul down the third base line, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a poor decision by Griebe not to pay attention to Bishop, a guy with 22 stolen bases in 23 attempts at Towson this past season. A base hit likely scores another run. 2 away, a 2-2 pitch upcoming to Hakopian. And he drives one into left field for a base hit. Bishop held at third. The ball hit just too hard. And Hakopian reaches on a single, his second hit of the day, and there's runners at the corners with 2 down.
Well, this put-away pitch not working right now. It's that fastball. He's got real good velocity on it, but he can't locate it well to a guy like Hakopian. He's going to drive that all day. The Bethesda hitters finding the gaps on both sides of the infield right now.
Chris Hakopian has reached 4 times in 3 innings. A walk, a single, reached on an error, and now another base hit. Teddy Ruffner back to the plate. With 2 down. 17-0 Big Train. Pitch home. Fastball well inside. Just in front of his knees. A ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0. Just below the knees on that fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Fourth time up to the plate for Ruffner here in the third. 2-0. That finds the bottom of the zone for a strike. 2-1. At third is Bishop. At first is Sakopian with 2 down. 2-1 pitch. Ruffner swing and a miss at a fastball. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grebe set at the belt. Checks on the runner. 2-2. And the curveball just misses off the inside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ruffner as he chats with Ridner, the catcher behind the plate. One catcher to another. Both an excellent understanding of the strike zone. Off from first goes Akopian, 3-2, a little bloop into right center field. Long run for Jones, and the center fielder can't get there in time. It's down for a base hit. Another run in to score. Hakopian over to third, and there's still runners at the corners with 2 away. The score now sits at 18-0.
Everything going well for Bethesda right now. On a pitch that he kind of got jammed on, was able to get his arms around on it and just loop it into center field. And they're finding him anyway right now.
So Dean Twigo to the plate. And he watches a first pitch fastball in at the knees. No balls and a strike with 2 down. At third is Akopian. Seemingly trying to get a quick stretch in. At first is Ruffner. 18-0 Big Train. 0-1. A looping fly ball into center. Cam Jones Jr., the center fielder, starts back, then ranges in to make the catch and end the inning. It's 3 runs for the Big Train in the third. It's an 18-0 lead as we head to the home half. We'll be right back on the Big Train Radio Network. And we welcome you back to Silver Spring, Maryland for the bottom of the third. It's the bottom third of the lineup for the T-Bolts as they face Brandon Cassidy. He has set down the first 6 Thunderbolts in order. First, it's Jonathan McMath. Left-handed hitting right fielder, and he takes a first pitch fastball off the outside, a ball and no strikes.
He's looked really good through those first few innings. The fastball really working, a couple of strikeouts, both on that pitch. But with the lead and with the time in between the innings, he's coming out with a lot of confidence and moving very quickly as well.
So he winds and deals a 1-0, and a swing and a miss from McMath. With that bright blue bat, it's a ball and a strike. McMath at Montgomery College this past season had an excellent spring. .379 average, 19 home runs, 62 RBIs. As he watches a 1-1 in at the knees called the strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes the count to lead off the bottom of the third. (18-0) Big Train. So we try to round out the first third of this ball game. 1-2 pitch. Fastball well outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's 4 straight fastballs we've seen now. We'll see if he tries to switch it up a little bit, but it's been working for him today. But eventually you're going to have to try something new. The hitter's going to sit on fastball.
So he lifts the glove above his head to begin his windup. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Strikeout number 3 for Cassidy. And there's one away in the bottom of the third.
Went back to it, located it well on that outside corner of the plate. He's got great command so far. And that's where his strikeouts have mostly occurred, on the outside corner, getting hitters to kind of reach out and completely miss it.
So Eric Ridner stands in. The walk-up song, Sweet Caroline. Good choice. First pitch. Downstairs, a ball and no strikes. Chicago U catcher. From Potomac, Maryland, so no Boston roots. 1-0, up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. And yet, he chooses an iconic Boston song as his walk-up music.
One of the most well-known songs that any team plays. New York, New York, of course, for the Yankees as well.
Here's the 2-0. That fastball paints the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. You have a preference? New York, New York, Sweet Caroline?
Well, as an Orioles fan, I really could care less for both of those teams. But I would go Frank Sinatra over Neil Diamond any day of the week. But I would much rather prefer John Denver's Thank God I'm a Country Boy at an Orioles game.
2-1. And a foul ball right back off the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think I prefer Sweet Caroline when given the choice.
See, I like Theme from New York, New York because they play it at the end of any game. So when the Orioles march in there and they win, I get to hear that as all the Yankees fans leave.
It's a fair point. 2-2. Chopper left side. Bishop on the backhand, fields it on 2 hops. Long throw to first. Schiavone picks it out. What a scoop by the first baseman. 2 away.
Yeah, for a guy who does not play a lot at first, you can see he's smiling out there right now. Laughing it up with Ruffner, who's the catcher. But a great play using that little bit of catcher instinct right there to be able to pick that ball.
He looked into his glove after he caught it and said, "Oh, look what I found." But it's an out nonetheless.
All the work paying off finally.
So Mike Heckman to the plate, and he takes a strike at the knees with a fastball, 0-1. Cassidy has retired 8 straight T-Bolts to begin this ball game. 0-1 pitch, fouled back and out of play. Quickly ahead, 0-2. It has taken us about 100 minutes to play through nearly 3 innings, but we chug on slowly here on the Big Train Radio Network. 18-0 lead for Bethesda. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Strikeout number 4 for Cassidy. And he sets down the lineup in order. On to the 4th. It's 18-0 Big Train. We've reached the 4th on the Big Train Radio Network. 18-0 Big Train lead in Game 2 of the season. It's opening night for the T-Bolts. Big Train opened with a 10-5 win last night over the Crop Dusters. To lead things off, it's Zeb Ruddle for the Big Train. He takes a fastball on the outside corner in for a strike. 0-1. New pitcher for the T-Bolts is the left-hander Eric Elliott, second left-hander they have thrown today. As the 1-0 comes in and hits Ruddle on the helmet. And he flips the bat, gives a thumbs up to our home plate umpire. Lucky he's all right. That came in hot, hit him square in the head, but always a good sign to see. And now the trainer will chat with Ruddle. Have to always check when someone's hit in the head.
I didn't realize that hit him. I thought he ducked out of the way of it. Of course, I was over on my computer looking up stats for us, but glad he's okay. Too early in the season to have something like that happen. We can't. You know, it's Game 2, and we're up by 18 right now.
Well, trainer gives a thumbs up as well, so we're ready to go. And Schiavone stands in and watches a first pitch fastball in for a strike. Eric Elliott, the left-hander, heading to University of Maryland Eastern Shore as a transfer from Delaware State. As the 0-1 outside with a fastball, a ball, and a strike. Played in the Maryland Collegiate League back in 2021. It's the 1-1 pitch called a strike on the outside edge. 1-2 the count to Schiavone. Played for the Baltimore Chop.
The Baltimore Chop. We got some numbers finally here. 2021 with Delaware. Delaware State. 2 2/3 innings and that ERA over 16.
Not a large sample size is the 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schiavone, who has walked, flown out, and singled. It's the big train near the bottom of the order again. 2-2 pitch. Schiavone sends one in the air to left field. Amani Jones, the left fielder, drifts back, reaches up with the sunglasses on, and makes the catch for out number 1 as the throw-in scoots past both middle infielders and rolls all the way to Costanzo, the first baseman. And with one away, Lucas Phelps comes to the plate. Big Train have scored in every inning so far. 10 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third. Still looking to score in the fourth. Pitch into the right-hander Phelps, and he goes around, although with an attempt to resist swinging fully, but unable to do so. And it's no balls and a strike. Elliott set at the belt. 0-1 slider stays outside. It's a ball and a strike. Off the bag at first is Ruddle. And the 1-1, a high fastball called to strike. 1-2 the count to Lucas Phelps.
It's been a spot that Phelps has not swung the bat at. If you remember, he tossed the bat to the side earlier on a pitch similar in that zone.
Lays off the high fastball. 1-2. Slider spins its way downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Sun continues to set. Clouds have completely disappeared. What has turned into a beautiful evening in Silver Spring. 2-2. Phelps lines one back off the screen. And we do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. .71 degrees.
A little cooler from those last few games that we had to sit through. A couple of mid-90s over at Shirley Povich Field.
It was 95 degrees as Phelps takes strike 3 on the outside corner. Quickly 2 away. 95 degrees on Friday.
Yeah, I had the shirt and the pants sticking to me that day.
That is an image that no one wants to think about.
We only get one shirt, so I was trying to plan out when I wanted to do laundry, but the heat up here has kind of changed that plan a little bit.
Long takes a slider in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. How about every day?
Every day.
Oh, with how hot it's going to be. It'll be that hot probably most of July. Something in the area. 1-0. Just outside with a fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. Harrison Myers, our producer, does not like the sound of that. I don't think anyone does.
We'll be here for every game.
Yeah.
We'll get to experience every 90-degree day.
Yes, we will. 2-0, and Long pops one up. Left side, the third baseman, Calick, drifts back in fair territory along the line, battles with the sun and makes the catch to end the inning. Scoreless are the Big Train in the top of the 4th, but still a commanding 18-0 lead as we head to the home half on the Big Train Radio Network. We say hello once again from Silver Spring for the bottom of the fourth. Brandon Cassidy back to work, top of the order for the Thunderbolts. Cam Jones Jr. leads things off and takes a fastball outside, ball one. 18-0 Big Train lead. They've done it on 12 hits and only one home run. 1-0. Called a strike on the outer half with a fastball. Cam Jones not sure he agrees, but a strike nonetheless. It's the wind and the 1-1. Swing and lines one back off the netting. Ball and 2 strikes. At Frederick Community College this past season, Jones hit .367 with 1 home run, 20 RBIs. As he steps in with those neon green cleats, although covered with a layer of brown from the dirt. Here's the 1-2. And the fastball just off the outside. Quite close.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a close call. And that's where he's located all of his strikeouts so far to left-handed hitters, that part of the plate. I caught a bit of a break there.
2 balls and 2 strikes as Cassidy winds and deals. And Jones fouls one back to the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield almost entirely covered in shadows as the lights have turned on. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, dribbles it right side. The second baseman Hakopian takes 3 steps in, fields and throws on the run in time to get Jones Jr., and there's one away.
Jones with good speed down that line. Hakopian realized he couldn't wait for it, kind of set his feet and make the play, had to charge. And nicely done, just sticking the glove out and making a little sidearm throw over to first.
Hakopian, son of Derek, who was a star at the University of Maryland. As Amani Jones stands in and takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. And Derek realized Chris was going to be a very good baseball player at 9 years old when he watched Chris take ground balls at shortstop. He has turned into a great infielder. 0-1. A fastball on the outside corner called a strike, 0-2. Derek said defense was always something he preached to both Chris and his brother Eddie, who is now at the University of Maryland. 0-2. Just off the outside with a fastball. Ball and 2 strikes.
I'll be curious to see how Sal Colangelo approaches the pitching staff with the run roll likely being in play in the 7th. Some action right now in the bullpen. See if you get some of these other pitchers in.
1-2. And Jones fouls it off his right foot. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Derek said about Chris that Derek himself isn't anything close to the shortstop that Chris is. Was the Maryland Gatorade Player of the Year last season. Award hasn't come out. Well, has not come out yet this year. Chance to repeat. Won it as a junior. 1-2. And Jones, a very defensive swing, just taps it towards the Big Train dugout down the third base side. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Chris out here playing with a bunch of guys who have finished their freshman, sophomore, some even junior year of college. He's headed into his first year of college, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from the size. He is as big as everyone else, if not bigger. 1-2. It's in the dirt. Nice job by Ruffner to keep it in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cassidy shakes off Ruffner once, now twice. Finally has the pitch he likes. Rocks into his windup. The 2-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball in the dirt. Strikeout number 5 for Brandon Cassidy. He has set down 11 in a row to open up this ball game, and there is 2 away.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many breaking balls today. He's been heavy fastball through the first 3 2/3 innings. But he wanted to throw in that breaking ball. You said he shook off a couple of signs, did not want to go back to the fastball. And it was a good sweeper coming in.
So Joe Calick to the plate. Chops one left side. The third baseman, Phelps, fields. Long throw to first. And Schiavone digs it out of the dirt again to end the inning. Cassidy retires 12 straight. We're through 4. It's 18-0 Big Train on the Big Train Radio Network. Top of the 5th from Silver Spring, Maryland. It's 18-0 Big Train. And Casey Bishop up to bat, facing Eric Elliott. First pitch down in the dirt with a fastball, a ball and no strikes. Bishop at Towson. Originally from Parkton, Maryland. As he takes a fastball in for a strike to even the count at 1-1 on the outside corner. Went to the Gilman School in high school, which is in Baltimore. School with some history. 1-1. And a called strike on the outside corner again. A ball and 2 strikes. Former headmaster of the Gilman School, Redmond C.S. Finney. He's actually the first college athlete to ever be a first-team All-American in 2 different sports in the same academic year. Did it in football and lacrosse. As the 1-2 with a fastball upstairs, a good take from Bishop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Did it at Princeton in 1950 and 1951. It's only happened one other time since. 2-2. That's in the dirt. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes, a fastball downstairs. The other one Adam, if you were wondering.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have that stat ready to go as well?
Of course I do. Can't come with that tease
Or that
and
fact?
not.
Yeah.
Can't tease it and not say it.
You could have said, everyone at home, look it up on your own.
3-2 fouled back off the screen, and we'll do it again on a full count offering. The other was Jim Brown at Syracuse. Did it in football and lacrosse.
Jim Brown.
Just passed away about a week ago.
I think a little bit more, but still.
A couple weeks ago.
Just very recently. One of the greatest running backs of all time.
Here's the 3-2. Bishop loops one right side. The second baseman, Heckman, back onto the outfield grass. And on the retreat, he makes the catch for out number 1. But Redmond C.S. Finney, the headmaster of the Gilman School, actually gave up an athletic career to write his thesis.
Okay, what was his thesis?
That I can't tell you.
That you can't tell me.
But
there you go.
He went into education instead and eventually became the headmaster of a high school. So Jeffrey Hurd to the plate with one down. And he swings at a slider, checks his swing, and does not go around, according to our first base umpire. So it's a ball and no strikes. Slider was in the dirt. Hurd, one of a couple California kids on the roster. 1-0. Takes a slider on the inside corner, a ball and a strike. From San Jose, California, goes to Sacramento State. Says he's a San Francisco Giants fan. Giants just finished a 3-game set with the Orioles this weekend, which Baltimore won. Is big swing and a miss at a slider. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 8-3 the final today for the Orioles. One of the best teams in baseball.
First team to 20 road wins.
They picked up a road win in San Francisco. 1-2, fastball up and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants, a team that hovering right around 500. They dip a game below after the loss today. Here's the 2-2. Hurd swings and gets under a slider into right center field. Long run for the right fielder McMath. And the center fielder Cam Jones Jr. calls him off in the gap to make the catch. 2 away. So Chris Hakopian back to the plate. He has reached all 4 times. Walk, pair of singles, and reached on an error. He's scored twice.
Got a chance for the Thunderbolts to retire the big train in order for the first time in this game.
Fastball upstairs to Hakopian, a ball and no strikes. They retired Bethesda.
They were close in the 4th. They had the hit by pitch and then in order after that.
That's exactly what I was about to say. In 4 batters after they hit Ruddle in the head, but Eric Elliott has done a fantastic job out of the bullpen as he fires in a strike on the inside corner with a fastball. 1-1 the count with 2 down. Trying to put 2 scoreless frames up there for the T-Bolts. It's the 1-1 sinks low and away from the right-handed hitter. 2 balls and a strike. Tomorrow, Bethesda stays on the road to face the Metro SoCo Giants. 2-1, slider in the dirt, skips off the catcher Rindner and bounces back off the screen. 3 balls and a strike.
That'll be our first longer trip of the new year down to Lorton, Virginia. Be on for radio again.
Yes, we will. Radio on the road, TV at home.
We'll be back home Tuesday for a bit of a rematch from last year.
Championship series from a season ago against the Alexandria Aces. 3-1 pinch, popped up and foul behind home plate. Hakopian shakes his head, doesn't like that swing. The count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away.
2 of the 3 hitters in this lineup in this inning working full counts, so even though one of them was retired and Hakopian has a chance to make an out here, still working long at bats. You'll love to see it 5th time through the lineup.
3-2, and he pops one foul again. to stay alive, and we do it all over again.
And then we have our first off day after that Wednesday.
First off day Wednesday, then play about a week more before another off day. 3-2. And it's fouled back off the screen again. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. .38-game regular season for the Big Train. Looking to get back on top. 10-time champions. But came up short last season. 3-2. And the fastball outside, ball 4. So Hakopian reaches to extend the inning for Teddy Ruffner.
This is a guy you want up at the plate, though. A couple of base hits, 2 walks, and has driven in 3 RBIs today. He's looked great. The stick in his hand so far.
A lot of options for player of the game tonight.
Just give it to the whole offense. I mean, it's really been incredible what they've been able to do. So early in the season as well.
Slider up and away. 1 ball, no strikes to Ruffner. And it's a transition from metal bats to wood bats, although the BB Core bat's not exactly known for their pop. The bats they use in college, the 1-0 catches the outside corner to even the count, a ball and a strike. But it is a transition. It's a different bat, and it's a different feel. 1-1. Ruffner grounds one softly to the left side. The shortstop, Calabrese, fields in an underhand flip to second, retires Hakopian to end the inning. Elliott with 2 scoreless frames. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 18-0 Big Train on the Big Train Radio Network. Brandon Cassidy back out for inning number 5. In the bottom of the 5th, he set down 12 straight And Tristan Crawford leads things off to face him. 4, 5, and 6 upcoming for the Thunderbolts in the home half of the fifth. 18-0 Big Train lead. You're on the Big Train Radio Network. As Cassidy winds and deals the first pitch. And a fastball. A big swing, but Crawford comes up with nothing but air. It's no balls and a strike. There is a right-hander getting warm in the Big Train bullpen. A 1 pitch, fly ball into right field. Twygo starts back. The right fielder begins to drift back in and makes the catch for out number 1. It's Skylar Hutto in the bullpen for the Big Train as Coleman Calabrese comes back to the plate. Pop out in the second. Cassidy winds and deals. And a fastball hits the knob of the bat. He sends it right back to the screen. So a foul ball, and it's 0-1. Everything has gone right so far for the Big Train today. 10 runs in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third. That's how they have powered this 18-0 lead. And then Brandon Cassidy has been fabulous on the mound. 0-1. And a perfect fastball in the outside corner. Ahead 0-2. He's retired 13 in a row to begin this ball game. Lifts the glove above his head. 0-2 pitch, and the slider skips in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes. Calabrese teammates with Big Train first baseman Jason Schiavone for most of the year. Goes to JMU. Hit .297 this past season with a pair of home runs, 29 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch, line drive left side, and it's through for a base hit. The first hit of the Thunderbolts season comes with 1 away in the bottom of the fifth, and they have their first base runner of the night.
It's a hard hit single, just could not get there. What was it, 13 in a row retired to start the game? It's pretty dang good for Brandon Cassidy. Pitching has been outstanding, not just today, but also going back to yesterday's game as well, especially the starting pitching.
Cassidy throws over to first. It's off the glove of Schiavone and down the line. Off for second goes Calabrese. He has plenty of time to run. Finally, Twygo picks it up, rifles it in, but Schiavone unable to haul it in at first, and it allows Calabrese to move over to third.
The big foul territory. A long run for Schiavone or Twygo out in right field to get to that ball that kept rolling all the way to the fence.
So a chance for the Thunderbolts to get on the board with Costanzo at the plate and 1 down. Here's the first pitch home, and a fastball called to strike on the outside corner. Becomes a strikeout situation for Cassidy. He hopes to keep the Thunderbolts off the board. 0-1. Slider stays outside, a ball and a strike. A base hit for Calabrese, and then the misfire on the pickoff have given this home crowd a little bit of life for the Thunderbolts. Still trail 18-0 in the bottom of the fifth. 1-1. The slider stays outside again, 2 balls and a strike.
These at-bats still count for the Thunderbolts. They might be down big right now. But again, first game of the season, the first opportunities for them. They can't just give up because of the deficit.
It's the 2-1 outside, 3 balls and a strike to Justin Costanzo. It's the first batter that Cassidy has faced out of the stretch. Jonathan McMath on deck. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a fly ball down the left field line. Heard the left fielder, tracks it down into the corner. Tagging is Calabrese. The throw to the plate is not in time. Calabrese scores standing. And the Thunderbolts on the board. It's 18-1 Big Train here in the bottom of the fifth.
Just a perfectly placed ball down that line, drifting towards foul territory, and a good running grab out there in left field by Hurd, and a strong throw home as well, but easily able to tag up and store. Stanzo with the first run of the year for Silver Spring Tacoma.
They push one across here on opening night, so Jonathan McMath stands in. And the first pitch just below the knees, a ball and no strikes. Cassidy works into the windup, a 1-0. Fastball up and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Hutto has been warming up in that Big Train bullpen for a while. I have to imagine he's close to ready. There's another arm out there as well. 2-0. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Fastball misses.
He's been throwing to Austin Morris, a couple of Alabama kids just trying to keep warm. But with Brandon Cassidy pitching well, there is the chance that they don't potentially see the mound until, well, at the earliest tomorrow.
Here's the 3-0. That's in the dirt, ball 4. And time called. Coach Lopez, the pitching coach, heads out to the mound to chat with Cassidy.
Well, Brandon Cassidy, this past season at college, his long was 6 innings, and he did it twice. And he's getting close to that right now at 4 2/3 innings. So he's got the chance to tie what he did at the collegiate level and potentially go past it. The command's starting to get a little bit shaky right now. This is his first game that he's pitched in since May 21st. So obviously that gap between now and when he was pitching in college for Christopher Newport. And of course they don't want to push him, but he does have that ability to go 6 and very much likely 7 as well, with us being up 18-1.
He's still in the game as Eric Ridner comes to the plate. First pitch called a strike on the lower inside corner. It's 0-1 with 2 down, and McMath over at first. Cassidy up to 64 pitches on the day. Here comes 65, and the curveball bounced down the third base line, and it takes a hop foul just before the base. Actually scoots its way by the third baseman Phelps, but it is foul, so the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it looked like he might have intentionally done that, moved the glove up so the umpire could notice that was going foul, because had he knocked that ball down, it would have been a tougher call to make. And of course, we don't have replay review or anything like that, so had he called that fair, you know, they would have essentially gotten a free base runner.
Heads up play from Phelps. Count 0-2 to Ridner. 0-2 pitch, and a fastball fouled away down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned Cassidy, a season high of 6 innings of work. He did throw 102 pitches in an outing where he only went 5 innings. So he certainly is not tapped out pitch count wise. It just depends on how long they want to use him. So he throws back to first, and McMath dives in safely.
Yeah, this league's all about getting reps and getting innings, and for a lot of these guys, getting healthy as well. Cassidy just looking for some innings here, coming off of a season where he was healthy. But he's pitched a lot, 42 and 2/3 innings of work at the college level.
0-2 popped up on the infield. It's Hakopian, the second baseman, who calls for it, and he makes the catch to the right of second to end the inning. One run comes across for the Thunderbolts on one hit, an error, and one left on base. We head to the 6th. It's 18-1 Big Train. Top of the 6th. It's 18-1 Big Train, and the first pitch to Twigo is in for a strike from Jackson Bouquet from Ursinus College, now in the transfer portal, still trying to figure out where he goes next. As the 0-1 outside with a fastball, a ball, and a strike, headed into his senior year. Big righty on the mound, and the 1-1 outside with a fastball, 2 balls and a strike. It's Twigo, Ruddle, and Schiavone due up in the top half for the 6th. A lot of credit to Eric Elliott. Came in for the Thunderbolts, did not allow a run in 2 innings of work. As the fastball called a strike at the bottom of the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And the 2-2, Twigo bounces it down the first base line. It stays fair, and Costanzo fields it and takes it the bag himself for out number 1.
Just a slowly hit ball over there to first base. But nicely done over there at first by Costanzo, just to kind of wait on it. Realized he had time and took it to the bag himself. Didn't try to charge it and make another error.
First pitch to Ruddle. It's downstairs, a ball and no strikes. Big Train have not scored since the 3rd, but plenty of offense through the first 3. As the 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 10 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third, and scoreless in the 4th and the 5th. 1-0 outside with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes the 2-0. They get 3-0, and that's ball 4. Oh, maybe not.
No, he walked. It was a 4-pitch walk to Ruddle. All 4 pitches kind of on the outside part of the zone, just missed a little bit. The first one, or excuse me, the second one rather, was a little bit high, but trying to go to the opposite side of the plate, see if Ruddle could push something rather than pull something, just didn't work. Walked him on 4 pitches.
One of the umpires started to call him back, and then ended up realizing.
Yeah, I think it might have been confusion with the scoreboard and what he had as well.
Schiavone takes a strike, 0-1. Scoreboard was off a pitch, and that's what confused at least me and the umpires. One of the umpires is the 0-1 pop foul and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
Ruddle has now reached base, 4 times today? 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a base hit as well. It's been huge offensively in these first 2 games.
0-2 pitch, line drive into right center. It's down in the gap, and it rolls to the wall. Ruddle around second. He's off for third and gets the wave on home. Jones finally scoops it out in right center field. Ruddle in to score, the throw to third, and Schiavone slides in safely with a 1-out triple. And the big train back on the board. It's 19-1.
Well, we haven't seen too many extra base hits through these first couple of games. It's been a lot of walks and singles, but Schiavone going opposite field. Real nice swing, finding that gap in right center. And it's 362 to left center. It's 357 out toward right center, but it kind of went more towards center field, so it kept on rolling, allowing him to easily get to third.
Lucas Phelps takes a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Ball just rolled all the way to the wall, and by the time Jones caught up with it, Schiavone was off for third. Ruddle scored easily, 0-1, and the fastball well upstairs and in. Phelps has to lean back out of the way, a ball and a strike.
It's going to really annoy me if we don't get that runner in from third. If we're this close to 20 runs, it's going to bother me all night knowing that we were that close.
Well, Lucas Phelps will try to help you out as he takes a 1-1 upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball likely scores a run. A fly ball does as well. As long as it's hit deep enough. Schiavone has decent speed. 2-1, and the curveball drops below the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Good speed for a catcher, especially. He's stolen a couple bases early this season. Okay, set and deals, and 3-1 up and in, ball 4. So a walk to Phelps, back to the top of the order, and runners at the corners with 1 away. And we see John Long for the 6th time tonight, and we are in inning number 6.
We've gone at a pretty good pace too, because when we reached the 5th, we were, towards the top of the order. Reached the 4th, made it.
John Long is hit in 4 of the 6 innings as he takes a fastball up and away, a ball and no strikes. However, he hit twice in the first.
Walk at a strikeout, also came around to score. And every inning so far today, at least 4 hitters have had a plate appearance.
It's the 1-0 upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. This is now the 5th inning he is hit in. Here's the 2-0, and it's low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Bouquet just struggling with the command. Wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see a mound visit at some point in time soon from the pitching coach, just to kind of talk it over with him a little bit. 2 walks already in the inning, and now behind 3-0.
And that's ball 4 as it's up and away to Long. So the bases are loaded for Casey Bishop. meeting on the mound between Rindner and Bouquet.
Another opportunity. The base is loaded again. And the Big Train have done very well with runners in scoring position today. We'll see if Bishop can come through. Already got 4 RBIs on his line, had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third.
Here's the pitch home. Fastball up and away, a ball and no strikes. At third is Schiavone, at second is Phelps, at first is Long. And the 1-0 curves down below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put Bishop. On deck is the dangerous Jeffrey Hurd. Two-0. Called strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Sun has gone from view. The lights are turned on and helping illuminate the field. 2-1 to Long. He sends a high fly ball into deep left field. Jones ranges back and in front of the wall. He makes the catch for out number 2. Runners at second and third tag. Schiavone in to score. Over to third goes Phelps, and it's a sacrifice fly for Casey Bishop.
That's now a 5 RBI night for Casey, and he's done it every way. Singles and sacrifice flies. He goes with the small ball, and he goes with the nice base hits as well, doing what he can to drive and runs. That one went way out there to left center. Again, 362 feet at this stadium, and it was just short of a grand slam.
Jeffrey Hurd to the plate. I've seen Bishop get into a couple deep fly balls so far.
Yeah, for a guy who runs really well, he's got some sneaky pop. I would expect him to have some, I would expect him to have a pretty good extra base hit total by the end of the season, whether it's home runs, doubles, something like that. He's got a great swing.
There's the 1-0 called a strike to Hurd. This is a guy who has plenty of pop in the bat, and we saw it back in the first.
A long home run. Only 315 down the line. That's one of the shortest corners that I've seen so far at a baseball stadium. And his went well past it into the woods.
1-1 on the outside corner, called a strike. He knew it as soon as he swung the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. At third is Phelps. At first is Long. 2 away in the top of the 6th. 2 runs in. It's 20-1. As the 2-2 pitch, line drive into right center field, and it drops for another base hit. Into score comes Phelps. It's Hurd's 3rd hit of the game. His 5th RBI. Over to second goes John Long, and it is 21-1. Big Train with a 20-run lead.
He's really pulling the ball well. We've seen that every one of his base hits, right center or right field. Eventually, pitchers are going to start pushing him away, but when he gets into good hitters' counts, they're kind of forced to throw the ball in the zone. He's able to pull it.
Sakopian swings at the first pitch, lifts it into left center. In comes Amani Jones, in the left fielder, makes the catch to end the inning. It's 3 runs across for the Big Train on 2 hits and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 21-1, the lead on the Big Train Radio Network.
replacing Cassidy. Adam, can you give his line when we get the chance? We have Skylar Hutto, who is a sophomore at the University of Alabama, 6'3", 225 from Alabama. So that's why I'm here. We put up a 10 spot in the first. So 1 out, no one on. And here's the leadoff hitter. It is Jones Jr. from Frederick Community College. At least it's not hot. Right?
Oh, that's what I was thinking when we got here.
Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt. Takes a ball just missing. Fastball on the outside. I guess he's going for the bunt base hit. Jones is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out to Hakopian at second. 1-0. Fastball away. 2-0. Have we had any lineup changes for the big train? I don't think we have.
We have not. And
Coach Colangelo is just rolling with it.
Yeah, not everybody's here right now in Bethesda, so. But we have had changes like in the field. Schiavone catcher to first base, but not specifically today yet.
Right. The 2-0 was fastball low, 3-0, so Jones way ahead. Hutto's pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner. I would say from my time as a youth baseball coach, and our producer Harrison can probably appreciate this, there's nothing more frustrating than blowing someone out and having someone walk people. 3-1. That's a one-hopper to Hakopian, arranges to his left, flips to Schiavone at first for the out, and there are 2 away. Who cares what happens if you throw it? It's 21-1. Just throw it down the middle.
For a while, and I didn't say anything on the air, and it was funny because if I did, I would have been proved wrong. But Brandon Cassidy was just throwing fastballs.
Was it really?
Yeah. He had about
working on
12, 13, 14 of them in a row, and of course, right before I said it, he struck out.
Of course.
McMath on a slider down and in.
Naturally. That ball is ripped right to Schiavone, who fields it on 2 hops at first, takes it himself, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Skylar Hutto. He retires Amani Jones, the left fielder for the T-Bolts. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base at the end of 6. It's 21-1. We are back. It is the top of the 7th inning. So the Cal Ripken League has a rule, a mercy rule. So if the big train can maintain at least a 12-run lead through this inning, the game will be over early. Let's see what they do, though, in the top of the 7th. Jackson Bouquet still on the mound for the T-Bolts. It is Teddy Ruffner at the plate, I believe. Breaking ball strike. And the count is 0-1. Oh, man, the scorebook here is just a nightmare.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
He's had a good game. A couple of hits, couple of walks, 3 RBIs as well. One of the many big train who could get player of the game today.
Yeah, I know. You guys are going to have a tough go of that. That was a breaking ball outside to Ruffner, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, big night for Ruffner, filling in catcher. Bouquet, 1-1. Another breaking ball. That one in, 2-1. So we have Ruffner, who kind of came in late. Coach Colanger brought him in late. We have 2 catchers whose teams are currently in the College World Series, although I think Clay Wargo's Louisiana Lafayette just were recently eliminated. Here's the 2-1 fastball strike. He went. It was a check swing. Decided he went 2-2. And then, of course, Schiavone is a catcher, but he caught a lot for James Madison, so I don't know how much he's going to catch for us this year, but maybe giving him a break. Anyway, 2-2. Breaking ball away. Full count.
Do you know if Ruffner was more of a catcher at college? Because he's listed as utility.
No, I think he's basically just a dude. I think Sal affectionately called him like a dirt dog.
A dirt dog.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. The 3-2 is fly to right. Going back towards the track is McMath, and he makes the catch in front of the fence for out number 1. That's a baseball lifer term of admiration.
Yeah.
He's a gamer.
He's a gamer.
He's a gamer. He's got dirt on his uniform.
Yeah.
Always. Here is Dean Twigo, who has scored a run tonight, and I don't think he has a hit, but he's reached base a couple times. Here's Bouquet, deals, breaking ball strike, 0-1. I've only been here for like 6 pitches for Jackson Bouquet, but he seems like a breaking ball kind of guy.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He's corners as well. He loves to work the corners.
There it is.
Yeah.
0-1 to Twigo. Pitch. Fastball bounce to first, where Costanzo flips to Bouquet covering. It was a closer play than I thought, and it's out number 2. They just got Twigo.
Yeah, bang, bang play down there, hustling down the line.
It turns out you shouldn't look down at the defensive alignment while the play is going on. Who knew? Who knew? Up next for the big train is Zeb Ruddle, the center fielder. He has a single, a walk. He's been hit by a pitch, and a walk. He scored 3 runs. He has a stolen base. He's been on 4 out of 5 times, and he takes a ball down and away, 1-0.
Good night for Zeb. He's a good through the first couple of games. Couple of walks, a hit by a pitch, getting on base any way he can.
Yeah, just doing it. Here's the 1-0 from Bouquet. Fastball cut on and missed. So, Adam, I don't know if you have people that you listen to that you find yourself imitating in your the way that you call games. But I'll tell you mine in a second.
Okay.
Here's the 1-1. That's a breaking ball, ugly in the dirt. 2-1. So I grew up listening, falling asleep to Yankee games, and it was John Sterling and Michael Kay.
Yeah.
So even though people hate John Sterling, I love John Sterling. He's kind of a buffoon, but he's our buffoon.
Right.
And even if he miscalls things and has weird home run calls, it's still what I like. 2-1 fastball up to Ruddle, 3-1. Who do you have?
Mine was Gary Thorne because he was the Orioles broadcaster,
yeah.
but he also
I
did
love
Yankees,
Gary
New
Thorne.
York. I watched some of
great
his.
hockey announcer.
My favorite call of all time is
Glaber
his call
Torres.
of Mattingly's home run.
Oh, yeah, in the 1995 ALCS.
Yes.
Yeah. That is fly down the left field line. The third baseman and left fielder converge, and it's into the bushes. Foul. Ruddle stays alive. It's 3-2. Has a second chance. Yeah, Gary Thorne's amazing. His call of Mattingly's home run in the 1995 Division Series, first time done and only time made the playoffs.
Yep.
And my favorite thing as a Yankees fan was in 2019 when Glaber Torres hit 8 home runs and he lost his mind.
He's lost his mind.
It was
right.
hilarious. 3-2 to Ruddle. Bouquet sets. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Down goes Ruddle. That ends the top of the 7th for the big train. No runs, no hits, nobody left. At the end of 6.5, it is 21-1. All right, we are back. It is the Big Train Network. What are we calling it now?
The Big Train Baseball Network.
The Big Train Baseball Network.
We had to
on
make sure it
Big
wasn't
Train
the
TV.
BTN, because then the Big Ten would come
Yeah,
calling it a
there you go,
lawsuit.
yes. So here we are, bottom of the 7th here in Silver Spring. The Big Train lead the Thunderbolts 21-1. Skylar Hutto back for his 2nd inning of work. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball line to center field, coming on Ruddle, and it's going to land in front of him. That is a base hit for Joe Kallick, the third baseman. Excuse me, no. The
Third baseman, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is third
You
baseman.
got it right, yeah.
I had it right. That is a base hit for the third baseman for the Thunderbolts. Again, as I said going out of the last inning, there is a mercy rule here in the Cal Ripken League. If the Big Train maintain at least a 12-run lead, this one will end. Here's the pitch from Hutto. It is a fastball up, 1-0, to Tristan Crawford, the DH, who is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to right. Here's the 1-0. Fastball on the in hands, and he lines it into left field. That's a base hit by the third baseman, Phelps. Up to second goes Kallick. Crawford is on back-to-back hits to start the 7th for the Thunderbolts. And the fans who remain are pretty jazzed about it.
They're going to make sure that the run rule doesn't happen, and we're going to be stuck here for another couple of innings.
You know, that might happen. But
Yeah.
We'll be all right. Up now is Coleman Calabrese, who is a shortstop, James Madison. First and second, nobody out. Hutto deals. Breaking ball tipped. Held on to by Ruffner. Strike 1. Yeah, so again, the Thunderbolts trail 21-1. They will need to score 9 runs this inning to keep this game going into the 8th. Here's the 0-1. There's another breaking ball strike. A beauty from Hutto, the Alabama product. Didn't play much this year, but that's why he's with the Big Train. Get some reps.
Get some reps.
0-2 now to Calabrese. Runners lead off second and first. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that was another breaking ball, and it looks like it was a cross-up. It was high. Teddy Ruffner thought it was a fastball. Almost lost his mind. It's terrifying as a catcher. Yeah, he was like, please, we have to talk about this.
We've had that a couple of times where the catcher runs out to the mound. You know, first
Crossed
time
up.
meeting these guys, getting a little crossed up. Got to make sure you have the signs correct.
Exactly. Well, I mean, how many times has there been a guy on second tonight?
I know.
One time.
One.
Yeah, that's it. Until now, so everyone's got to figure something out.
Right.
1-2, bottom of the 7th. Hutto against Calabrese. The pitch. That is a fastball in on the hands, popped up into shallow left field. Retreating is Bishop. He makes the catch. I believe no infield fly, but first and second, 1 out now, and that brings up the first baseman, Justin Costanzo. So, Thunderbolts running out of outs. This is their season opener. Of course, the Big Train opened last night with a 10-5 win over the Crop Dusters. Costanzo takes fastball just missing, I guess, high. Count 1-0.
And I think Metro Soco, they're doing opening day tomorrow as well. So
Wow, the Big Train are three opening days in a row.
Opening days in a row, right.
Sheesh, okay.
Yeah.
1-0 to Costanzo. Fastball down and away, 2-0.
Alexandria did play yesterday. I don't know when their opening day is, though.
They did play yesterday?
They didn't.
We were the only ones
Yeah,
who played
right,
yesterday,
right. We were the only
and
ones.
there's only one other game tonight, which is Crop Dusters versus the Senators.
Right.
2-0 to Costanzo. There goes the runner from second and from first, and now they've got him in a rundown. Crawford in a rundown, back to first. He is out.
Yeah.
So that looks like some miscommunication on the Thunderbolts' part.
That's actually smart because, I mean, you're up by 20 runs.
Yeah.
So who cares if that run had come in and scored? Get the out.
So basically what happened was Ruffner didn't have a chance at third. The runner at first broke late to second, threw down to second, and they threw back to first where Schiavone applied the tag before Crawford could get back, and now it's a 2-1 count on Costanzo. The pitch fouled straight back. The count 2-2. So 2 outs, 2-2 count, 21-1, a runner at third, and the T-Bolts are down to their final strike. I'm going to let someone else, well, that's not, it's 2-6-3. Caught stealing.
Right.
Or no, picked off because he's going back to first.
Yeah, picked off. 2-6.
Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed, and it gets by Ruffner. Going to first is the throw down is not in time, and a run comes in to score. So it was a strikeout of Costanzo, it got by Ruffner. He ran to first. He scored. He got reached safely, and scoring was Calick, who reached third when he stole it and then scored on the pass ball. So it is 21-2. A lot is going on in this inning.
Yeah, Ruffner got crossed up. Drop third strike, goes to the backstop, and
right.
Game is still alive.
Now we have Jonathan McMath, takes a fastball up and away, 1-0. So Costanzo reaches on a
Drop third strike.
Yeah. Wild pitch.
So it's a strikeout and then just put him down there to first.
That's a fastball away, 2-0. McMath is 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out against Cassidy, who is really pitching well tonight, pounding the zone. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball strike, and the count 2-1. A 2-0 breaking ball up 21-2. That's how you know that they're working.
We were stealing up, what, 10-0 in the first and 15-0 in the second.
2-1 breaking ball cut on and missed by McMath. I mean, that was early. So
I don't believe in a lot of these unwritten rules, though. But
well, if now they wouldn't be stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Here's the 2-2 break a ball away, 3-2. So I will imagine Costanzo will be moving on the pitch. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 21-2 Big Train. Again, one more out, and this one is over early. Here's the 3-2 from Hutto. Breaking ball, flied into left. Hurd is tracking under it. He makes the catch. That will do it. Ball game over. The Big Train moved to 2-0 on the season with a completely dominant victory, 21-2 over the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. That will wrap it up for me, at least for tonight's game. Thank you, Adam and Eli, who's not in here with us.
Of course.
For letting me fill in.
This isn't going to be the last time
No, it's not the last time.
You're going to be here.
No, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. But thanks to everyone else for tuning in. And Adam, I don't know how you guys are taking us out, but I'll let you do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Once again, the final score, 21-2. 14 hits for the Big Train and only 2 for the Thunderbolts. A really dominant performance. And I'll ask you, Michael, because Eli is not here. Were you more impressed by the pitching or the hitting? Because the hitting, great start, but the pitching was dominant. 2 hits is 7 innings.
I think we saw this last night where the Big Train only walked 2 people and the Crop Dusters walked 8. That was a big difference in that game. And I think, again, tonight only, let's see, one walk. Tonight by the Big Train. I mean, that's a big deal. You don't give people free passes. But I have to say that the hitting tonight was impressive. And these were not like seeing eye singles.
Right.
These we were ripping the ball, and Jeffrey Hurd's home run was absolutely tattooed. So I was more impressed by the bats tonight. They came out swinging. I mean, you scored 10 runs in the first inning.
Right. I mean, they've looked impressive over the last few games. Again, final score 21-2 from all of us here at the Big Train Baseball Network. We'd like to thank you for watching. My partner, Eli Kleinman.
Thanks, Eli.
Thank you for joining in. I'm Adam Glover saying goodbye to you. We'll have a post-game show on social media coming up in the next hour.